Camera C. What the heck's going on here? There we go. I think that's enough. I think we're ready to go. Oh wait. There we go. We said good morning. Hello. I'm just wedging up some clay here before I get started. The one that I'm wedging right now is really soft, so I'm gonna try to see if I can get some moisture out of it on the wedging table here. And then I'm probably gonna reset this music. Hold on 1 second. Camera A. There we go. Somebody said, good to be here again. Nice to have you here. All right. So there we go. Here are 3. We're going to start spinning. Does it seem like a little bit darker down here? Doesn't it seem like it's a little bit more dim than yesterday? I can't really tell. But anyway. Get right into it here. Oh wait. Stop looking at me. Pottery shelf. There we go. It's gonna break the illusion. Alrighty. Green on. Good morning, chili dogs. What you focus on grows. Feed them horses. 3 more pots coming at you guys. Today is the year anniversary I started the YouTube channel here, so pretty crazy little journey, but we're just gonna keep on cruising. I'll see you guys over there in a second. Green off. Camera C. Oh, come on. There we go. This one's placed below are a little bit unwieldy. Happy anniversary. Did I do something every day? I did. I post a video every single day. And then on August 10th is the anniversary of doing the trees every day. So we're coming in close on that too. Alrighty, so here we go. Camera B. Slowly gonna push in. We're slowly gonna go up. We're gonna go push our left hand in just a little bit more. Again, I'm gonna slowly bring this up. I don't even know how to spell that. Kurangbin. I wonder, I feel like if I don't type that in now, I'm gonna forget it. Alright, hold on. Keep spinning. Camera A. Alright, pants, sorry. Kurangabin. Alright, how do we do this? The musical trio from Houston, Texas. Right? Alright, let's get back into it here. Sweet. Bit of water in on the top. Slowly bring this up. John's back. Hello, John. Right down to the bottom. Get it ready. So I'm going to take my right hand here and watch what my right hand does. It slides forward. Getting ready to push that left right up against the clay to bring that back up just a little bit, right? That transition, that's really the key there. Camera C. Take my hammer fist, bring this down. You guys know, always keep it on that left third. I'm gonna take my fist and ride this right along my thumb here, back towards myself. I'm pushing down a little bit. I always like to think about it as like, remember when you were a kid and you got off the school bus, and the school bus was greasy. I remember getting off of the school bus and I felt like I was like covered in olive oil or something. Right? And so what was the nicest thing is I had this, like, I'd go home and I'd get some, you know, a nice cold glass of milk, right? Whole milk, right? Because that's the best. And then I'd sit and watch cartoons, right? And I'd sit in the couch, right? So imagine this is the couch. I'd sit in the couch and then I would sink into it, right? Like when you get loose, right? Imagine you're like a dead fish. That's how much pressure I usually use, right? Really allowing my body weight to push that clay. Thumb in the middle, just a little bit there. A little bit of water right in the pond. Slowly cutting across that base. I got a couple of rabbits. I'm gonna take my finger, I'm gonna cut right across there. There you go. Then I'm gonna smooth out the middle part here, right? Nice. I usually leave it about 1/8 of an inch, right? A little bit less than 1/8 of an inch. Again, I'm not trimming or wiring these off, so I can get away with going pretty thin. I'd actually say if you're starting to trim or starting to throw, having thicker bottoms is usually better. I just think something that separates a beginner to someone who's like intermediate is the size of your foot. I feel like when you trim a bowl and you have a really nice sized foot, I think it, you know, looks really professional sometimes. Anyway, our friend of the stream's gonna come on here. Hey guys, me, Llama. We're getting into it. Another volcano coming your way. Camera B. I'm slowly biting on that rim, walking back my left hand, and my right hand is slowly pushing forward. And there we go. Grab a little bit of water from the sponge right on the inside of the volcano. Slowly take your knuckle and project that inwards. And the key with this first couple pulls is all about getting that clay equalized. You can see I had a couple of stuff come off. Look at all this. This stuff just wasn't attached. Let it come off. Don't freak out, you know? When that stuff starts peeling off, just continue that pull.
It is difficult to
and today the clay, I don't have as much clay, you know, so the pots aren't going to be as tall. The amount I'm using today, you know, the past couple days, yesterday I was probably using about 3 to 2, and I'm about that same range today, but the days before I was using like 4, you know. I'm running out. Tomorrow I'm actually going to have to use porcelain, which is going to be a nightmare. I hate porcelain. And so if you look at this, look at what I have here. I have a tremendously thin spot right here in this middle. You could even see where that line is, right? And so we got to be careful. I'm going to slowly go over top that line. I'm going to slowly bring some clay down over top that line. Trying to blend that in just a little bit, right? We got one more pull out of this. Bit of water right on the inside. And a little bit of water. Right down at the base. Push that in slowly. Allow those fingers on the interior to slowly get above the fingers on the exterior. As soon as you have that, then you can start your pull. And then I'm going to slowly lessen up that pressure on the inside so you can see that bump is diminishing the size as I'm going up because it's thinner there. I don't want to pull it out further because I have that thin spot. There you go. You know, you have your cylinder already. How thick do you want your base to be? The base of the clay? Probably, like I was saying a little bit earlier, I would say probably a little bit less than 1/8 of an inch, right? But if you're trying to do it, right, like I don't wire these off. I don't trim. So I'm trying to get it as thin as humanly possible on that bottom so I can get as much of that clay upward and into the pot here. And it also allows for me to do the skirt without them being super body heavy, bottom heavy, right? But if you're starting out, I would say that you'd probably want to have maybe like 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch thick bottom so you can trim. Somebody says hello. Do I like working with earth specifically? What is it about? Do you like working with earth specifically? What is it about? Like the material? What do you mean? Like, why do I like working with clay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Is that rim? There we go. What number pot am I on? 1022. 1022, I think.
I can't answer the real question.
But if you're talking about if I just like working with clay, I actually don't really like ceramics or clay that much, really, but I do think that it's valuable, right? Like think about it, like most of my life could be downloaded onto a flash drive the size of my thumb, right? There's something that's really amazing about all the time that you invest in something, and it takes up tangible space rather than this digital space, right? And so I think there's something really valuable there. Hopping up this edge just a little bit. There we go. My pinky, slowly pushing that clay in, pulling this up ever so slightly. There we go. Okay. And if I'm looking at this one, I feel like I kind of want to keep this. I don't think I'm going to do tendrils on this one. There's something that's kind of nice about the skirt here, so I feel like I'm going to actually hopefully get some petals on this one. Okay. Got some petals on the bottom here. A little bit of water underneath. Some of these petals are getting a little bit. I gotta make sure I tuck those in. Sometimes if you just stick them onto the clay, they'll stay there. They kind of look nice like that. Alrighty. Somebody said, "What is that?" This is one of my tree forms. Camera C. Camera C. Alrighty. And we're gonna swap over to Pottery Edit for you guys. So let's see what we get today. Goated 1.
Madness is a state of mind in which the individual is unable to control their thoughts.
Get that bottom rounded, right? And so the goal is that you kind of want it to be like a dome shape here. So that way when it hits the bottom, there's not like a little bump underneath here, that it seals air in there, right? So here we go. Camera B. A little bit of water right on this base. See that? Get ready to push this forward. That left hand right against that right hand. Those 2 lanes of traffic. There you go. A bit of water again right on the top. I'm feeling some air bubbles, right? Also, I'm kind of feeling the beat today. So let's turn this music up just a tad for me. I feel like it's not going to turn up for you guys, though. Alright, here we go. Again, right down to the bottom. I'm going to take this up. We got one more coming at you guys. I'm gonna swap over to camera A. Right down to the base. And speed that up as you get to the top here. There you go. Slow motion. And the key here is wherever you see that wobble, lower that right hand down and slowly walk that back up to that top edge there. See that wobble? Down push forward, walk that up to that top hand, and slowly just feed that top hand all those wobbles, and that's how you're gonna get that right on center there, guys. When it starts getting a little bit dry, hit it in the center, get some water on there, and then we're gonna swap over to camera C. Hammer fist coming right down on top. Always look, always on that left third there. Slowly pushing down. Also, there's like some, I don't even know what that was. Always keeping that hand on that left third. Look at my wrist. My wrist is never bent. I'm never using the palm of my hand. Look at where the clay is gathering. Nothing on my palm. Look at all that gunk right on the palm of my hand, the interior, that middle part, right? Always on that, right? So here we go. Again, slowly bring that out to the edge. I'm feeling a couple air bubbles. So we just gotta make sure we keep that in mind when we go to the bottom here, right? We're gonna swap over to camera A. Wheel. Alright, so I'm gonna slowly take my 2 fingers, I'm pushing down first. Right, there we go. Have some water in that pond. And then I'm gonna take my finger, I'm gonna cut across that base, right? Any air pockets? You had a couple that popped, maybe you heard them, maybe you didn't. Some water on that inside there. Slowly smooth out the base. Again, we're aiming for a little bit less than 1/8 of an inch. Alrighty. Sweet. And if I'm feeling the corner, you want to make sure you have a corner here, right? Like this edge here is so important. A lot of people will leave this rounded off. You really want to make sure this is sharp, okay? And then we're going to have our best friend of the stream here, guys. You ready? What's up, guys? It's me, Mr. Llama here. We got another volcano coming at you, guys. You already got one. Let's give you another. Camera B. Right down to this base. Llama hand slowly coming back towards myself as my left hand is slowly pushing away. And all of a sudden, you got the llama's favorite thing in the world, volcanoes. Here we go. Yo, we got some volcanoes in the chat too. Thank you. Somebody said, how many little green goblins do you think it could take? Like you versus a group of goblins. How many you got? What's gonna happen is it's gonna be like 9 of them, right? I'm not gonna think anything of it. I'm gonna be like, it's a little bandit group of goblins, right? I'm gonna take out the 9, right? And then as I'm looting, you know, all of a sudden there was gonna be like one small mini goblin, the 10th goblin that I didn't see, right? It's gonna come up behind me. He's gonna take me out. I feel like that's what's gonna happen. Round off that top just a little bit. Again, look what we got. We just had, how would you rate your own skill between 0 and 10? Alright, so it's me versus the world, or me in America? What are you thinking? Me, as my age, or just in general? Okay, right down to the bottom. And again, do you see how we have this bump? It's all about feeding that bump upwards, right? And if it gets a little bit wobbly, we don't really freak out. We continue and we finish off that pole. Got a little bit of crumbs coming right off that top. Make sure we have some more time on there. This clay's a little bit softer too, so it's gonna be a little bit of a frustrating experience doing another pole on this. Your skill with sculpting? Oh, I'm not a sculptor at all. Probably like for my age group, probably like a 2. Somebody said, yeah, double digits. You mean the goblins? Yeah, I think so.
What you're saying to somebody is, here, here's a little world, experience it.
Here we go, right down to the bottom one more time. Again, take your finger, you're going to be pushing in from the exterior in just a little bit, then you're going to take your interior fingers, and you're going to slowly feed them up above those exterior fingers, and you're going to create this bump, right? You guys see this bump? And that's the thing that you're walking up. I always say it's kind of like a slug trying to find his next meal. Very slowly, always maintaining that bump. If you don't have that bump, don't do the pole, right? It's a really good visual indicator if something's working out well. I call those the butter moments. When the clay is moving as smooth as butter, right? Stop what you're doing and write it down, right? My skill at just pottery, I don't even know, sometimes I don't know if I would count myself as a potter, right? Say maybe right now I'm at a 5, right? I want to be a 10 one day, but you know, I got my whole life ahead of me. I'm only like a quarter of my life is done, right? So if you rate yourself too high too quickly, man, you know, you don't give yourself a lot of room to grow. I think 5 is respectable, right? Alright, here we go. Here we go, right to the bottom. Take a breath. Find a rhythm. And sometimes if you go down and then pick it up, right, you can get it pretty even. Slowly walk these up here. And when you get to the top, you actually kind of want to thin this out a little bit. Okay? Now you got that top ready. If I'm noticing, you can see one of them's a little bit lower. Which one is that? It's this one, right? You just want to make sure you kind of address some of those. And I'm going to go right to the top here. I'm hooking my fingers outward. And you see how it naturally just wants to twist up? I'm slowly going to spread my fingers out. I'm going to stop. I'm going to kiss that rim. And it's just going to nest right on top of that, and then there you go. It's another one of the tree forms. How do I know that I'm at a quarter of my life? You're right. I could die tomorrow. But if I die tomorrow, that'd be okay because I'm grinding it out today. So this is one of the tree forms that's probably, you know, it's a little bit, it's really soft, so it might actually collapse here on this top rim, but we'll see how it goes. We're not done yet, we still gotta add the petals on this one. If I'm looking at this one, there's some space right here, so I'm thinking maybe that we do tendrils on this one, right? Somebody asked me, I'm new here, what are you making exactly? I'm making trees. I make trees every day. Today's the anniversary for posting videos every day. So 1 year ago I made this channel, and I've been posting videos every day since then. I make shorts, I make videos, and then I started making trees on August 10th of last year, so less than a month, and then we're going to be at that whole entire anniversary of this series here. The relationship between your mic, the background music, is perfect. Interesting. I don't even know what I would call this music. What would you guys call this music? Me, I would call it just like disco groove. Modern disco groove. Alright, so here we go. We're gonna do maybe 3. I'm going to take these up, and the key with the tendrils, right, is you want to touch them as little as possible. The more you touch them, the more opportunity for mistakes you kind of bake into the object there, right? So I found the little amount of time I spend with it, the better they always turn out. It's the same thing with a lot of things in pottery, right? If I'm making handles, if I stop trying to make it round, all of a sudden it becomes round. It sounded like that one Bruce Lee quote where he's like, if you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bowl, it becomes the bowl. You put water into a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Water can flow, and water can crash. It can be water, my friend. So there we go. We got the tendrils right on the bottom. Do you see how it kind of bridges that gap right before that twist? Kind of giving something a little bit more interesting towards that base of that tree there. Alrighty. Here we go. Somebody said this is lo-fi house. Alright. I'll keep that in mind. Maybe I'll do more of this sort of content. Camera C? So this is kind of interesting. You'll see the interior there. Pottery shelf. Pottery shelf. Alrighty, so we got another pottery edit coming at you guys. So I'll see you guys in a second. Goated 1. Alrighty, we're back. So here we go. Camera B. Somebody said back from what? It's one of my pottery edits. So I have like maybe like 150 different pottery edited videos. They're probably a little bit less than a minute. And so whenever I say goated 1, it will play that audio, right? Yeah, it's just a break so then I can get the next chunk of clay prepped. And then this bat calling it nice. Right down to the bottom. And I slowly bring this up. Here we go. A little water on the top. Again. You ready? Camera A. Right down to the base here. And slowly push this forward. You see how it's wobbly on the top? We're not focused about what's happening on the top. We're focused about what's happening right underneath where my hands are, right? Sweet, here we go. Right up, and we're gonna tilt that over, and wherever it wobbles, right, you're gonna take that, you're gonna push and pull that up towards that hand, and then down. And then wherever it wobbles, you're gonna push that up towards your hand, and then down. All right, then we're gonna swap over to camera C. Take your hammer fist, coming down right over top. Again, projecting that left hand forward. Look where my left hand is, always on that left side, never going crossed middle. And again, I'm pushing down and pushing down. And you want to push in from the middle first, and you want it to feed from the middle outward, right? You never want to fold over that edge. Again, keeping that left hand on that third over there. And again, look at my thumbs kind of drifting out right in this middle. I can push down like I just got off the bus, got my nice cold glass of milk, chilling, ready to watch some SpongeBob. My fist, I'm slowly bringing that back, right? I'm noticing there's a little wobble, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna push in. And you see how it creates this little groove here? And then I'm gonna push down, and I'm gonna be really slow, and I have my elbow right on my hip bone, so I know it's not gonna be moving. I slowly, again, walk this back out, and there you go, right on center, right? Again, I'm pushing in the middle, just a tad. Opening this up, right? Sometimes you gotta be careful, because if you have two, I'll explain this for you guys, right? If you ever, for those who've done pottery before, if you've ever made some work and you've gotten it centered and then you open it up and it got off-centered, right? Look at if you have two thumbs going towards this middle, right? I'll keep it at the same speed. So my foot's off the pedal. I'm in the dead zone in the middle. That's where nothing is moving, right? A little bit wider. Look how fast it looks like it's going. Same speed. Now look how fast, right? It's traveling more distance, right? And so when you have two fingers fighting for that dead zone, one of them is going to be pushing that other one off of the dead zone, right? And so sometimes what I like to do is I actually like to have one in the middle and then one off to the side. And so then when I push that down, I'm going to push down with the one that's off to the side because it has to overcome centrifugal force. And then it's going to be a lot easier, and it's going to keep that one in the middle still. And I'm going to have a nice even ring right in that middle there. Have some water in there. Can't have the tadpoles be drying out. I'm going to hook my finger, right? And I'm using the tips of my fingers here, not the pads of my fingers, the tips of my finger. And I want to cut across that base. Imagine it's 3 layers of cake. If you cut across that bottom layer of that cake, the top 2 layers are just going to follow, right? Make it easy for you. You know, you don't need to overpower it if it's not really necessary, right? Does anyone see the edit where he eats clay? Yeah, I've seen that one. That's so funny. Alright, again, I'm trying to make a corner here, and I got a lot of air bubbles right at this base, so I gotta be aware that I'm gonna probably have some of those when I'm pulling up the wall here, so hopefully we can get this one cruising for us, right? But again, we're gonna have our last time we're gonna see the llama for today. You guys ready? Hey guys, it's me, Llama here. We got one more volcano make for you guys, so let's get into it. See you guys in a second. Camera B. I'm slowly pushing my llama hand back towards myself, and then my left hand is slowly pushing inwards past the llama. So they're gonna high five. It's like 2 cars on a lane of traffic, the oncoming, ongoing traffic. And that's how you're gonna get your volcano. So there we go. What's my favorite thing to make on the wheel? I probably like the horses. I like throwing the horses on the wheel right now. Those are probably my favorite. Again, I'm taking my knuckle and I'm slowly going to be pushing this in. And I have a lot of uncentered, off-balance clay here. I'm just going to go slow and try to get that all nice and even, right? These first couple walls is all about getting your hand, or that wall thickness, nice and even there, right? Somebody said they love air bubbles. No, I can't believe you said that. We got another volcano in the chat. Thank you so much. I love seeing the volcanoes in the chat when I do that. What a service. Holy crap. These are just like free lessons. That's dank AF. Yeah, I mean, if you all learned something from this, totally, you know. I just kind of want to talk through my process. I think it makes it a little bit more interesting, and it kind of makes me think about it in a different way. What kind of clay is the best? I got my wife a wheel on recently, but I don't understand all the clays yet. So clay is it's a very interesting thing, right? You know, you're gonna have your main 3 that people are gonna tell you is your stoneware, your porcelains, and your terracottas, right? And I would say that if I would start throwing, I would get stuff that was labeled as stoneware. But just because it's stoneware doesn't mean it's a single, there's not like a stoneware mine, right? It's a mine that mines a certain type of clay that gets mixed into a recipe to make that stoneware, because every single chunk of clay is going to has a shrinkage rate, right? And a lot of that shrinkage rate is dependent on commercially sold glazes, right? And so they make a recipe of clays to match the shrinkage rate of your glazes, right? And so, but I would start with stoneware, just because I think that it's important to start with. And why do I think that? I think that it gives you this idea that clay is not like water. You know, it wants to fight against you a little bit. I think sometimes with certain porcelains, it's really like water. It's so flowy, and it doesn't really have any structural integrity. And so I think if you can really learn that battle between material and clay first, then it's going to make moving over to porcelain a lot easier, right? Okay, we're going to color this in just a little bit. All right, right into the top, slowly hooking my top finger around, rounding that off. There you go. A bit of water on the inside. Next time, maybe introduce us to your setup. Haha, looks cool. I mean, I can show you guys. Camera C. Camera C. Okie dokie. So, I got my wheel. This is a monitor right here. It's not a laptop. Everybody always says, your laptop's so dirty. Not a laptop, just a monitor. I have cords that run all the way over to, I made a budget PC to stream from, right? It's just everything bare minimum, because it doesn't do anything. I don't even edit on this thing. It's just for the streaming. So I got it for around $500, right? And so for a PC, that's not too bad. Then I got a little wedging table here. I got my audio that I hear that you guys can't really hear is coming from that, it's called a diamond box thing. I got it when I was like in high school still. So maybe like, I don't know, 8, 9 years ago. I can't remember. Then I got a lot of my trees here. So these are all the trees that couldn't fit upstairs because I filled up my whole house with trees. I got a lot of my pots over there. So those are all glazed things. They're kind of older work. They're from a year ago. I have a kiln that I can't use because I live in an apartment, and so I'm not going to do that. There's a green screen, and so that's why when I go to camera A, you guys can see that in the background instead. And then I'm going to swap over back to camera C. Camera C. And then I got a little wet box where I keep clay in here when I have it all wedged up. And I got another camera right there that projects over to the green screen so I can shrink myself down so I can sit on the wheel. And then I got a bunch more other pots all in here. And I just have some storage stuff behind the green screen. There you go. Back to the pots. Somebody said Doom popcorn buckets everywhere. So funny. Where can I buy one of my pieces? I don't sell any of my pots, so. How do I get my studio? It's just in the basement of my apartment. So this basement area is split up into like 4 parts, and then it has a main area, and then this so happens to be one of those things. I had to drill holes in the floor and get like a 10 foot long or 100 foot long Ethernet cable to run through the floor so that I could get internet down here. So it's kind of funny actually. But I did a good job. It wasn't just like a giant gaping hole in the floor, right? Are your camera angles changed by Home Assistant? If the Home Assistant is my voice, then yes. Alright, so here we go. Camera B. Why don't I sell my art? Because I feel like as soon as you start selling stuff, it's starting to limit why you're doing the thing, right? I think so many people just get right into selling things, and then they start making things to sell, right? I'm making these things, you know, this is the correlation I like to make. This is one that I always say is like, if somebody thought that they had a problem with their weight and they started, you know, going for runs all the time, right? What would you call that? Would you call that person a runner all of a sudden? I don't know if I'd call them a runner. I would just say they're trying to fix something that they thought that they needed to fix, right? And so that's kind of what I think pottery is for me. It's not really, that's why I don't really consider myself a potter. I'm just trying to fix my own things, you know? Okay. Right down. Take a breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. We're gonna get ready. Kiss that rim. There we go. Do I do this for a living? No, I teach classes. So I teach pottery class. I don't teach them this. I teach them like just real pottery stuff, you know? Why are you saying camera B and camera C? Because this is why. Camera C. Camera C. And so now I can see the interior, right? And so the camera C is the head camera. Camera B is the front-facing camera. So that's why I'm saying that. Why so many trees? They're kind of an amalgamation of a lot of other older projects. I have this idea of parallel projects. Keep ideas simple enough that you can kind of pair them together, right? And then you end up creating this giant, slow-moving train of ideas that slowly riff off each other to create something massive, right? And so, you know, this is another one part of that, right? But it's a couple of ideas that I was kind of stringing along in my pottery practice that kind of came together to become something, right? Do you think you'll get bored after doing thousands of these? I mean, I've already done 1,000 of them, and I'm still cruising. But I am bored of them. I don't really want to do them anymore, right? But you gotta be really careful about that. Is it because do I not want to do them anymore because I think there's a better idea, or do I not want to do them anymore because I'm being lazy, right? And so I think I'd be really careful with those kind of decisions and leeway that you give yourself. And so I just told myself I'm going to completely exhaust it, right? It's kind of a testing of the mind, right? To callous your mind. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, I have to... Oh, do I mean getting bored answering the same questions? Yeah, it's okay. I'm... You know, for a long time I wasn't getting any views, right? And we'll probably end up with the 5 there. Kind of a little bit weird, but we'll do 1 curl in. We're gonna bring that out. 1 curl out. But you gotta remember, I was like, for a long time I was getting like no views at all, right? And so I'm just appreciative that I have questions to answer, right? Even if it's the same ones, I don't really mind. Kind of makes this whole process go by a little bit quicker, and if it helps out some people, right, that's fine. The goal should always be that you know, you actually turn the stream off and then go pursue something that you think is valuable, right? And so that's kind of my goal for my page as a whole, is I'd hope that I can inspire people to just pursue something that they feel valuable. What part of pottery do I struggle with the most? storage probably. I know that seems kind of weird, but like I feel like my whole upstairs, I can show you guys. Camera A, all the best, and strong mentality. And strong mentality. So that's just one of the rooms. I have multiple rooms. My dining and living room is also full of pots, right? Got some clay on me. Oh well. But yeah, I think storage is a really big problem for me. I'm gonna do pottery. Yeah, go for it. If you really want to do pottery, that's awesome. Someone said, when was the last time you made something other than trees, and how are you doing today? Last time I made something other than trees was yesterday. I was working with some, I'm doing a class. It's called Pottery Chess, right? Where me and a bunch of my students were making chess boards out of clay and chess pieces. And so yesterday, I mean, I teach classes, you know, now that it's summer, I don't teach 7 days a week, but during spring and winter, I was teaching 7 days a week at 4 different art centers. And so I was really running around. And so I make other stuff than trees a majority of the time. I just do the trees for when I'm at home. Somebody asked, am I getting a profit off of YouTube yet? No. I'm not getting a profit off of YouTube yet. Hold on. There's a video that wants to play. We'll let this one play. Yeah, no, I'm not getting a profit off of YouTube yet, but that shouldn't influence somebody to continue to do something or not, you know? Do I sell them? No, I don't sell them. Automatic or manual, the spinny thing? It has a pedal, so I can kind of choose, but it's not like a kick wheel or anything. Fun fact, that's how I first learned. I was taking a pottery class, and my teacher was like, oh, you're a guy, you go on the kick wheel. And so I learned on a kick wheel first, instead of an electric wheel. I feel like that probably was one of the reasons why I really didn't like it at the beginning, to be honest. Come in. Are you planning to ever sell your pottery? Probably one day, you know, but I need time. And I wanted to make sure I do something that's interacting with the people who buy them. I don't just want people to buy them, you know. I would like there'd be some sort of connection made, so then that those objects are charged with some energy. I know it sounds kind of like hippy dippy, but I think it's important. I just don't want my pots to be without, like, charged without any kind of personal energy there, right? Yeah, I don't have any pets. I like bugs though. What's the plan? I want to do a show with them. Right now I have 1,024 now. I want to do a series where I set them in a huge warehouse on one super long pedestal, and I think that would be really crazy, so you can see all the different variations. I have some other ideas, but I got to keep those classified. Another one I can tell you though is I want to fill up just a whole entire room, and I also want to make 10,000 of them at one point in my life. It's riffing off the Bruce Lee quote where he's saying, I'm not scared of the man who can punch 1,000 times. I'm scared of the man who can punch 10,000, or I'm not scared of the man who can punch 10,000 one way 10,000 times. I'm scared of the man who can punch, no, dang it, I butchered it. Hold on. I'm not scared of the man who can punch 10,000 different ways. I'm scared of the man who can punch one way 10,000 times, right? And so I want to make a series called Scaring Bruce Lee. And so this is kind of the start of it. No, I don't make any money out of this. 10,000 really isn't that much. I promise you, it's not that much. Yeah, I did some math on it. I could do like 9,000 in a year if I did 25 a day, which is possible, but I'd have to quit my job, or my jobs. But I can't do that right now. It's just not financially available. Man, everybody's always asking if I make money out of this. Is it because, I wonder if it's because they want to do like pottery like this or something? Or just do online content? I wonder. Alright, we're gonna get over here. And we're gonna shrink myself down here. So you guys gotta hand me some energy for this review. This is the 1 year of posting anniversary review, so I gotta make sure it's okay. Green on. We're gonna start over with this one over here. I'm thinking that this one was probably maybe the best one of the day. Maybe it's tied with the one next to it, so we'll give this one second place. I kind of like this one. They're all kind of basic actually, but I think today the ones were a little bit softer, but I think I did a pretty good job with keeping them pretty uniform even though they're softer. What I did is I kept them a little bit thicker than what I normally would because I can't get that height when it's a little bit softer clay. And then I went down to the bottom of this one right here and I did some tendrils. The tendrils are more of a pattern, but I kind of tried to make them a little bit more snaky and wispy. I feel like that foliage on that bottom of that tree kind of sells it as a tree a little bit, right? That pattern I feel like makes it feel like grass. It's very busy towards that bottom, kind of like what a tree would be like, right? I think the twist and the veins are really nice on this one, but there's something about the twist and the veins on this tree trunk here that I think are a little bit more interesting. They almost look like a folded piece of paper that's folded over. Rather, this one almost looks like coils. Right in this section, it's like, it's really twisted up, but it's not as dense, right? And so they almost fold over top of each other. So I kind of like this one a lot. I did a triple tendril on the bottom of this one, and I just think it looks pretty interesting, and I'm giving him some breathe room for some moments like this to happen right on the bottom here, where it's in between two tendrils, right? And so I feel like this one is actually a little bit nicer than that one over there. So that's probably the best one of the day. And we got the one that we started with. We got some petals on the top. I don't know, I always think these ones kind of look interesting just because I like that contrast between that base being so wide and the top going inwards and then outward again, right? I think that one's kind of a good one for contrast. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. All the best, Straw Mentality, and goated 1. Alrighty, guys. I'm gonna answer a few questions. I'm gonna head off here. I gotta edit. But yeah. Somebody said would be a dope or an awesome bonsai planter. Interesting. You know, some people said that before. It was kind of interesting that it keeps popping up. Somebody gave me a loading emoji. We're asking about money because we think you deserve it. That's very, very nice of you guys. Don't worry, the things like that, I've only been, like, this is a year anniversary. Today is the year anniversary of doing this. I can't expect like something too crazy, you know. I just gotta keep on doing it. If something crazy happens from it, you know, I'm open, but I have I'm just trying to fix my own mentality first, right? Will I ever color the trees? Yeah, I'll glaze them one day. But sometimes I'm also thinking about like, do I glaze them, or do I just fire them and keep them unglazed? You know, if I'm spending all this time making the forms, maybe I need to spend just as long testing glazes with them, right? People use test tiles. What if my test tiles are the finished products? I kind of like that idea. It feels kind of cool. Bro's giving a weather report on the clay. That's so funny. Okay. Somebody gave me some goat emojis. Yo, Mr. Lagex is like giving a lot of emojis. I appreciate it. Somebody said, yo, do I have another house? No. I just live in an apartment. How do you make different colors on the chessboard if you're using clay? You can use, so a lot of people will use colored slip, but well, I'll glaze the chessboards with the students, you know what I mean? That'd just be kind of fun. I'm doing rocks with eyes, with swords, versus cheese with feet. That's gonna be my chess sets. Some other ones, or somebody's doing some stuff from Legend of Zelda, like they're doing like Majora's Mask versus another one. Somebody's doing like foxes versus like little mushroom toads. Another person's doing bugs, like centipedes versus bees, I think, or something. So, yeah. Aw, thank you. Do both, have raw and glazed. Yeah, you could do that. But yeah. Alright, y'all. I'll give you one last pottery edit, and then I'm going to probably head off here, okay? Oh, I can't believe... Look what this guy said. Somebody said, you have a matter, daddy? Look at this person trying to catch me, yo. I'm a zoomer, yo. You can't catch me with those word things. Literally, I was the Kahoot generation, yo. So you're just making chess pieces, not the actual chessboards? No, I'm doing both. I'm doing both with them. Thing is, with chessboards, if they're really long, where if you make them a whole piece, they'll have a tendency to warp towards the edges, right? And they take a lot more care. Usually younger students, they're not going to want to take those extra steps to care for it. So what I'll do is I'll cut them up into small little squares, and then we'll epoxy them onto a base afterwards. So they'll make the little tiles. So yeah. All right, y'all. So that was it. Those were the ones for today. So I'm gonna head off here, and I'm gonna start editing. And I feel like I'm gonna post a video. I don't know yet. I'm gonna watch the first video I posted at the same day last year, and then I'll see if I can make any content out of that for the video as well later that I post. But anyway, guys, again, thank you. I'll see you guys in a second. Goated 1.
Let the storm follow in my wake. You cannot tame lightning. So must it be.
Also, somebody asked about the. Can you guys hear me? I think you guys can. So, all right, hold on. Camera B. All right, somebody asked me about the chess pieces, and so this is 2 of them. These are thrown ones, right? So these are some of the thrown horses, and so you can see it's just a pot that you throw, and then you kind of bend that top over, and then this mane comes from the stuff that you trim off the sides of your pots, and I just attach it on to become the mane of the horse, right? And then this is, you know, one of the bishops. I think they kind of look kind of interesting. But yeah, so those are 2 of the pieces. I saw you saying that. So yeah. All right, camera A. Oh, come on. I always post it. All right, we'll let it play, whatever. If I forget to turn off something, I change the camera and then it comes back, then we'll play it again. So sorry if you guys saw that repeat there. All right, computer. Computer. All right, peace out, guys. See you in the next one.